talking about whether you can house more than one turtle in an enclosure. And as you can see behind me, the short answer is yes. But stay tuned to find out why that may be a good idea, or why that may not be a good idea. Right guys, and now we're going to be talking about gender, which is the first thing you should take into consideration when housing more than one turtle together. So while we do that, let's go and feed some turtles. See you in a sec. Okay guys, so I've chucked in some pellets so you guys can watch them eating while we're talking about the first thing, which is gender. So here on the screen now I will display like gender chart thing, which basically shows what I personally think is okay in terms of the different turtle genders in the tank. However, always trust your gut when it comes to this, because if you don't, things can go wrong very quick. So now here I say males and males is a big maybe, and that's because there could be a huge dominance problem, and especially if there's a female or females in the tank with more than one male. Definitely in the breeding season, keep an eye on the males because they can become agitated and they might become quite hostile and quite boisterous. If they're fine with each other though, that's awesome, and as long as it works for you, that's fine, but just be prepared in case it doesn't. Now I'll probably say this a few times throughout the video, but if your turtles show aggression to each other, then separate them immediately. It could lead to minor or major injuries, or worst case scenario, death. Now, keeping males and females together is possible. Currently, I have Sakura, which is this big one just here, and Hanzo, who's the male on the left here. And currently they're just getting on fine. They follow each other around sometimes, sniff each other's bums. There's nothing wrong with that, you know, just keep an eye on it. If anything was to happen, what I would do, I would separate them straight away because I don't want any of them to get injured. Keeping a male and female together is also good if you want to breed them. Just be careful, as males can become boisterous in the breeding season. And lastly, keeping more than one female okay. And as a general rule of thumb, I would normally say this is alright. Females tend to do well in groups. They do not get as agitated as the males, and sometimes female turtles might even consider congregating. There might be some aggressive behaviour for food competition, however this is normally short-lived. So in summary of gender, in my personal opinion, more than one male, be wary. Male and female is a good idea if you want to breed, but if you choose purely females, then it is less likely this will arise. That being said, if you have hatchlings, don't know the gender, then just be prepared that in the future you may need to separate if aggression starts showing. Like my dad always said, prevention is better than cure. Okay, so I see a lot of people doing this, and it might work, which is awesome if it does, but just pre-warning you, I wouldn't think it's a good idea, as it can lead to a few altercations. So, generally, sticking a baby turtle with a fully grown adult turtle is a no-no. And the reason I say this is because an adult turtle would see the baby turtle as food. So let's say, for example, we stick a little baby common musk turtle, which only grow 4, 5, maybe 6 inches in size. Okay, so not very big for a turtle, but a baby common musk, which is like the size of a 50p or like a cent or two if you're American, in with a fully grown alligator snapping tail, which is probably like half the size of this tank. Let's be honest. It's probably going to eat this common musk, isn't it? It's not going to go well for the common musk, unless he hides for the rest of his life. Just be careful when sticking a fully grown adult turtle with a baby turtle, as they might see it as food. Also, they might bully it. Now, bullying could be territorial, it could be basking platform, food, for a female, you never know. Just, like I said earlier in this video, keep an eye on them, and any aggression, separate straight away. So the third thing I want to talk about is putting different species of turtles together. So in our previous example, we talked about the common musk and the alligator snapping turtle. You wouldn't really want to put those two species together, as one is highly volatile and very aggressive. Another turtle may not be as aggressive, such as the Japanese pond turtles. Also, other turtles are more sociable than others, so painted turtles are generally quite good in groups. You know, they stay small, they're very interactive with other turtles and us, and they're generally quite a good starter turtle if you haven't got a turtle yet. So just have a look at them, see what you think. So, for example, Japanese pond turtles, they're quite sociable with each other, and well, that's good. They don't like other species in the same tank, otherwise they might get territorial and aggression probably would happen. But together, so far, so good for me. They're fine at the minute. Guys, if you're enjoying this content, please give it a like and thumbs up so I can keep supplying you with some turtle cuteness and deliciousness. Just quickly, in the video on about different species. Some different species have different requirements. So the Matamata turtle needs a different pH to what other turtles might need. It's just things like that which may make different species incompatible. But on the same sort of level, some species have similar requirements, which means they could be compatible. So it works both ways, so just keep that in mind when making your decision, okay? So my secret weapon for keeping more than one turtle in an enclosure together is my 3 top tips. My first tip is keeping your turtles well fed. Now this is crucial, okay? Because if they're well fed, then there's not going to be as much competition for food. They're both going to be happy, or however many turtles are going to be happy, and they won't be fighting for food. So that's one less reason. Second tip, make sure there's enough space. Make sure the enclosure is big enough for all your turtles. As a rule of thumb, it is 10 gallons of water per 1 inch of shell. And for any additional turtles, that is 5 additional gallons per shell. So if I had a 10 inch turtle, that's a 100 gallon tank that you would need minimum. Which adds up quite quickly when you think about it, but there are ways around that, which we'll find out in another video. So 10 inch turtle, 100 gallons of water. If you have an additional turtle, let's say another 10 inch, then it's 5 gallons per inch, so another 10 inch would need 50 gallons. So 150 gallons in total for those 2 turtles, and more, and then just bigger and bigger tank, which if you can afford a big tank, it's awesome, but no worries if you can't. There's ways around it. There's cheaper alternatives, like some stock tanks. You can get like cement mixing tubs, which can be used, plant pots. There's so many ways of doing stuff. I'm currently in the process of taking apart a big cube water storage unit, an IBC container, which is going to be where these guys will probably be forever housed. Tip number 3, hiding spots. Your turtles can't see, they can't fight. They can't fight, and nothing bad's going to happen. On a serious note, hiding spots, as long as there's plenty of them, then they'll be able to keep their distance from each other. They just get a bit of brief moments away from each other. Turtles are solitary animals, you know, they're happy on their own. But that's not always the case. Sometimes you think, oh, they're so cute, let's get 2 of them as babies. And when they're all grown up, you're thinking, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. But it's okay, there's ways around it. There's ways of reducing the risk of aggression. And like I said at the beginning of the video, any aggression, separate. Don't risk injuring your turtle, otherwise it could be an expensive vet visit. So there you go, my fellow turtle whisperers. Hopefully the information will help someone out there. As long as it helps one person, that's me happy. If there's anything I haven't said in the video, then please just leave a comment down below and I'll get back to you as quick as possible. And let's just help each other through it. You know, I don't know everything. I can tell you from my personal experience, other people will tell you from their personal experience. As long as everyone shares their personal experiences, everyone's benefiting, everyone's moving forward, and we can do better for our turtle delicious friends. Maybe delicious isn't the right word. Turtle cute friends. Even if it helps one person, that's me happy. If there's anything I haven't answered or you have any questions, just leave a comment in the comment section below. And thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one.